Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. It's great to be back again. As you know, each week we get together and we look at how to build different types of models in Machinations. This week we picked some tower defense games. So we're going to have a look at how Bloons Tower Defense 6 handles their game balance. And also we're going to look at how we can create these sorts of tests in Machinations and have some fun with it as we go. So please, if you're watching in the live stream, please drop in and say hello. Let us know where you are in the world. Hello, Cesar. How are you doing?
Hello, Matthew. Good to be here. Looking forward to deconstructing Bloons. I've been playing a bit today.
It's a beautiful game. It has lots of fun in it. Lots of it's amazing. I've been playing Bloons since the very first version in the browser many years ago. It feels like now.
Yeah, I've been playing in browser as well. I remember the days.
I remember it was kind of my first tower defense game I really got into. And now I've played Tower Defense 6 for the first time, and there's so much more to it now. It's super complicated. They've added a lot of additional kind of game mechanics to keep it really interesting. I like how it's a premium game, so it's not just a free-to-play game only monetizing through in-app purchases, but it's kind of a premium model. I think it was like £4.50 for me. I guess it's about $5.
Something like that, yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
It's quite addicting.
Yeah. So Cesar, where are we going to start with this type of model?
Since we could do, for instance, a progression system, but for today we thought about simulating how the actual level balancing is. So simulating different waves of Bloons or whatever it is, because we are going to take inspiration from Bloons, but we're not going to build Bloons exactly. We're going to build a sort of a generic tower defense inspired by Bloons. So we're going to look at level balance. We're going to look at how many enemies spawn and how many of those enemies can your tower handle. When is it best to buy? What is best to buy? Are they giving enough income for the players? Do they have a fair experience? Easy cards, stuff like that.
Nice. Okay, so I'll be having to look at things within the game itself just to see what it's, how Bloons are.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but the financial part, for instance, pretty sure they give like 1 coin per popped Bloon. Bloons can have multiple layers. So, for instance, let's call it a pink Bloon. For instance, if you break a pink Bloon, it will turn into a green one. If you pop a green one, it will turn into a blue one into red, and the red will finally pop. So Bloons like those will be worth 4 coins because pop them 4 times, even though they're a single Bloon. But in principle, I believe that 1 Bloon is 1 coin for the player. And I think the player also receives a bonus at the end of the level. But I'm not sure how big that bonus is. Since we're not going to be building Bloons directly, we can make up the numbers as we want.
Nice. So, I mean, from a pure kind of core game loop, we kind of have Bloons coming in, then Bloons, actually, rather than doing like this, let's do it. Every kind of Bloon that comes in, they get Bloon popped. You get some money, and then you can spend your money upgrading how many Bloons you can pop at a time, I guess.
Yes. Essentially, whichever tower, so there are different types of tower defenses. There are types in which the enemies have HP and your tower deals damage to them, and they spawn fewer enemies but because of having HPs, it takes multiple hits to destroy them. Or balloons, where with just one shot you pop the balloon, but you spawn a lot of balloons, so the concept of damage does not exist. So whichever upgrade you're gonna have is gonna essentially mean you can pop more balloons. There are some layers to this which we will be discussing, such as special type of balloons and special types of towers that you need to destroy those balloons. But for starters, the upgrade is essentially going to mean that you're going to pop more balloons per shot or per tower.
Is that?
Wait, because I wasn't paying attention to what you're doing. So you're making the more balloons you pop, the more balloons come. So the more balloons spawn, right?
Yeah.
And the more you can pop on a time by upgrading.
Which is a pretty super simplified version of, I guess, any tower defense game. That kind of economy of, for every balloon that you pop, you also receive some money. I probably didn't have to do this with a converter and a gate to do that, but just to make it clear what the outcome of popping a balloon is. Buying towers or upgrading them in somehow. Here, every 5 coins you get, we're then creating another level. For each level, I'm saying you can destroy 10 balloons for each level of upgrade, and then for each every balloon you pop, it's going to mean that more balloons coming in faster and faster. Let's add that into the chart and do a quick look at what's going on there then. So it starts ramping up, you get a drop down each time the player increases, and this type of economy of the number of balloons that are actually kind of on the map is always increasing, but the rate at which the player's removing them is also increasing. Now I've made up those numbers, I don't know if that's going to be balanced in any way, Jezal, but it kind of gives a good kind of demonstration of the core mechanic. Because one of the things I find, and you know, I'll fail at balloons quite often. When I'm going through playing, I'll have something go slightly wrong, and normally when something goes wrong, it's actually because I haven't spent the money in the I haven't paid for it. And actually, if you don't spend your money fast enough, you're saving it for one of those big upgrades. And that's where it gets really dangerous. Start losing.
And losing life it can happen so fast, you can barely react. You're gonna be fine for 5 consecutive levels, and on the 6th one you're just gonna lose the game. I think he needs the game.
Is the game music coming through?
I have no idea. I'm on mute because I don't want to hear myself play.
How's that? Oh, there we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Enzo. Let us know. I was indeed sending the my phone's music across there. So, Tessa, where would you look to build an actual game model for a tower defense game?
So the way we decided we would handle this before the stream is that we're gonna do it in a sort of a simplified way, so we have time to actually build something, which is we're gonna generate a number of balloons for enemies. I'll just call them balloons, that the level throws at you every second. So we're gonna be looking at 1 step equals 1 second. That's gonna be the idea of our model. And we're gonna look at the amount of balloons that our towers can destroy per second. Now, obviously, this is based on more than just how many balloons the tower can destroy. It's also based on where the tower is positioned. I'm not sure if we can take that into. I mean, I'm sure we can take that into account. Not sure if we will do it today, but I think we can try to take positioning into account as well. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building towers, generating money from destroying balloons, building and upgrading towers, and those in turn will help us pop more balloons and survive the upcoming waves. And we're going to try to balance the numbers and see if we give the player too much money, if we give the player not enough balloons per level, if we give them too much balloons per level, stuff like that. So I think that's going to be the purpose of today's session. The first, the core idea that we're going to have is that we need to generate balloons per second, and we're going to need to calculate our towers total, let's call it DPS. Those two variables are going to be key in our model.
Okay. So where should we start?
Well, we should have, I guess, a start level source, I guess. So I'm gonna go below your example. Okay.
Perfect. You got it. So actually, this is really important, something we should definitely talk about after our latest update. So in with sources, you'll now notice that actually all of our language and descriptions have changed slightly. So this used to say activation. Now it's described as trigger. So what's triggering this object makes a lot more sense. It's the same for all of the different objects. So I can drag these in. You'll see they're all named trigger as the way of kind of triggering this object's action. So sources, if they're passive, they're just waiting there passively. Interactive means I can click on them. Automatic. The other change is rather than on start, we've changed this to on enabling. So when we enable the model, that's when we hit play. This on enabling, same as used to be described as on start, but now it's on enabling.
Not the same actually. Watch out, everyone! I'm gonna blow Matthew's mind. So on enabling does not only mean that it does incorporate the uses of on start, because when you start the model it will, but on enabling basically means that when the condition is fulfilled, that's when it's gonna, if you reset now and hit play again, okay, when it's enabled from a condition, it automatically performs its action. So it's basically on start but on steroids.
I see. So rather than it just doing it on start used to be only the very first step ever, whereas now on enabling means that I guess there's two ways we can do that. And you're right, that has blown my mind. I didn't realise that was the other change in it. So if I do that, let's make that 5.
And make the speed 1.
Let's make it 2. Gonna go crazy.
Yeah. So the first one is for the first, because the model started. So we enabled the model. The second one was deactivated, the one on the top. It was deactivated, so it didn't fire. And when it will be activated by the condition, it will fire a resource in that very step. So whenever you enable a node now that's set to on enabling, it will perform its action for 1 step, which used to be gathering of different conditions and triggers, which was bothering, but now it's way easier to do.
Very nice. Right, now that we've worked that out, delete all of that. Where are we going to start with our tower defense game?
Well, first of all, we're going to need generating balloons per second, right? So let's say that this source is going to generate balloons that will appear on the map every second, right? We can call the pool balloons on the map. and that's the bloon source.
Oh, sorry, that was me. Are you updating or shall I?
Yeah, I will. Okay. For each level, it's going to be different. For every higher level, it's going to be more, obviously. So this should be based on, and we should also have, because I just said that it's going to be based on the level, we should track the current level. So we're going to have a level variable in here. We're going to start on 1. I'm going to put a display to -1 so it shows a number. That's going to be our level. Now, I'm thinking as we go, we also need lives, right? Because that's the condition of fading, you run out of lives. So I'm just going to put a bunch of pools in here at the beginning. We're going to sort them out later as we figure out which goes in which system. So we're going to have lives remaining. I'm pretty sure this is based on difficulty, but I've been playing on medium and I had like 150 lives. So I'm just going to put 150. One bloon passing, exiting the map means that you lose 1 life. One bloon that is composed of multiple layers will mean that you lose the lives equal to the number of layers. So if you have a bloon that has 4 layers, you're going to lose 4 lives. So it's possible to lose a lot of lives per second. Now the bloons on the map pool will not necessarily mean how many different bloons there are on the map. It will also incorporate the layers. So again, a 4-layered bloon would mean that there are essentially 4 bloons on the map because it takes 4 hits to destroy it. So this is going to be the sum of every single bloon that is on the map plus the layers. Now bloon source is going to generate bloons based on level. I think we should just make a stupid formula in the beginning so we don't complicate it too much. Let's just say, I don't know, 8 times 50. So every level you generate 50 moon bloons. We'll just leave it as simple as possible for now. And based on that, we're going to generate the bloons. So I'm going to put an equal in here. So now if we hit play, you can see that for each, because we're at level 1, we're multiplying 1 by 50. So we're generating bloons, 50 bloons every second in our level. There's a discussion to be had here on how long we want our levels to be, how many seconds they should be. When I talked to Matthew earlier today, I was suggesting that all levels should be around 5 seconds or even just exact 5 seconds, just so we don't complicate it too much. We can adjust the number.
I think we should probably do at least 20 seconds. That seems crazy fast to get a level done.
I would compromise on 10.
Okay.
20 is gonna take a long time. It depends on how many levels you want to simulate, but if you want to do like a lot, then 20 steps is gonna take a long time. And I don't know, when I've been playing on double speed, some levels literally take like 2 seconds. It's just,
that's true.
The bloons come and just pop instantly, and
yeah. I mean, how old is this level? I think that's level 1 or level 2, and it's super fast.
Yeah. Let's do 10 seconds. It's fine. Doesn't really matter. It will only matter because we have a concept of bloons per second and bloon DPS. It will only matter if our DPS is insufficient, because the more seconds our DPS is insufficient, the more lives we're gonna lose in that level.
Great.
Okay, so we have bloons, we're generating them. We should do it for 10 seconds. So for that, we're gonna need sort of a level start.
If we've got 10 seconds at 50 bloons a second, that means the first level is going to have 500 bloons, which seems a bit much. I think we should have a smaller starting point, so maybe a
20, 10.
20, 10?
We can do 10.
10.
So there's 100 in total. And the amount increases, 10 by level, should be fine.
I mean, you think you're doing some kind of counter on there?
for what? For
10 seconds.
yeah, it's gonna be needed for us to know when a level is complete. Yeah, so this basically acts, the source that Matthew put on the top that generates 10 resources basically acts as start level, right? And obviously, if the drain on the bottom was automatic and draining one, not all,
Now you're just asking for perfection from each other. Here you go. So
it's going to be 1 second now. Put it on 1.
Oh, 1.
This acts as a timer, so when Matthew clicks on the source at the top, it basically means start level, and after the 10 seconds are done, if you're still alive, because that's what we're going to be tracking the lives, if you are still alive, then congratulations, you passed the level.
Nice.
Yes. We should now, just as a basic concept, think about, we're gonna you wanna see a higher level.
Just making sure that our logical works.
Yeah. No reason not to.
Perfect. What next then, Chizza?
I'm thinking we should so we have a rough sketch of how balloons are generated. We're going to improve on it, obviously, but for the moment, we're going to leave it as it is. And we should also make a rough sketch of our towers combined DPS. First off, I'm going to just start with general balloons. Now, if there are people here that have played balloons, or most tower defenses really, most of them, if not all of them, have mechanics where some levels you get, for instance, invisible enemies. Some levels you get armored enemies, very fast enemies, stuff like that. And you kind of need special towers to deal with those. Not all towers see invisible enemies. Not all towers can slow down enemies and stuff like that. So we will be trying to tackle that as well. But for starters, I'm just going to make a general tower DPS that we have that deals with all of the balloons for the moment, and we're going to branch it out in different types of focus. So it's going to, where we have balloons on the map, we're also going to have, I'll just call it our DPS, maybe with capital letters. Okay, so the tower DPS is going to come from not sure if it should be a pool or a register. It might even be a register, right? Because it's just gonna add a bunch of towers that we have. Now, my question, Matthew, here is, how many different towers do we want to have? Do we want to have a generic tower that's popping normal balloons, one for invisible, one for lead, and one for
lead balloons?
Lead.
Yeah. We could do let's do 3 different types.
Then let's do normal, cameo, and lead.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have, I'm gonna put them to the right a bit. So this is gonna be normal towers. Those will be cameo, the ones in the middle. We have 2 normal towers. Now, the thing with
so one of the things that we could do is here, rather than sending this directly to the balloons on the map,
yeah,
we could pop a gate in here
Yes.
Fire this at a gate. Maybe randomize it. And then gonna pop another one here and here. What do you reckon? Kind of kick off. Let's call that normal.
Yep.
Wow, camo. Kick off camo ones at
level 10 onwards, and lead level 20 onwards. And the odds should be normal ones should have a way higher spawn rate, right?
oh, yes. I like that. Move these so they're a little bit neater. Five, 2, and 1.
I would make normal balloons even more frequent.
10.
10.
So, for those of you that are new to Machinations, what we're doing there is we've got our source coming in, and when we're at a low level, the player's only going to receive normal balloons. Then, as we ramp the level up and we get past level 10, so now these two options are available. So our incoming balloons are going to get split randomly by the gate. 10 out of 12 of them is going to be normal balloons, 2 out of 12 of them are going to be camo balloons, and then once we get past level 20, then 1 out of the 13 balloons will be lead balloons.
Yeah, not exactly 1 out of 13. It's based on randomness, so there's 10 times the chances that we're going to get normal balloons compared to lead balloons. Yeah, it's about right. Okay, now that we're generating different types of balloons, we're gonna need, I think, the tower DPS that we have here, I think it's gonna be split into 3. We're gonna have normal balloons DPS, camo, and lead. And one idea that I see, that I immediately think of, is that those towers that can pop camo can also pop normal. So the normal one should be the DPS from all 3, right? So you get normal camo and lead. Camo should be a separate one, and lead should be a separate one.
But Chris was just saying his register's not working. So we just talk through this. So we're sending the letter A from our level pool into the register. Then we're sending an equal sign on the state connection to the resource connection. And just A times 10 inside that register.
Yeah, in the formula field, not the label field.
If you want to at any point, down in the description below, if you're watching via YouTube, you'll see there's the link. That link will actually take you to a copy of this model as we go through and build it. So each time you click it, if we've added something, it'll be updated.
I mean, the copy that you add won't be updated. You'll have to click on the link again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we've got our total. Now this is where it gets slightly tricky, because a lot of the towers, it's like my monkey tower, that I've just added. This little guy, Dart Monkey. I've enhanced the eyesight so that it can shoot camo balloons, but it can also shoot normal balloons. So it's not exclusive that they can only shoot that one type. So lead towers and camo towers can destroy normal towers, just as the normal towers can't do any damage.
Yes. So every type of tower will add to normal balloon DPS. Camo will add to camo, and lead will add to lead. Camo towers can't break lead. Lead towers can break camo, unless it's a tower that can break everything, which those do exist as well. But we're gonna keep it that so that camo doesn't break lead and lead doesn't break camo.
So what are your thoughts here? Just hook these up to some drains?
I'm in my thinking position now.
Hook these up to some drains. Then
I guess so. And the amount of water the drain is, exactly. It shouldn't come from the towers. It should come from the DPS. But the idea is there, yeah.
Well, let's just make these the DPS pools.
Yes, fair enough. Easy fix.
I'm going to put an equals there.
Yeah. For the normal ones, they should come from all three, I guess. Or no, it's fine. We'll adjust the DPS. No, it should be equal. It's fine. Make it equal. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll adjust the DPS.
Okay.
Because the DPS needs to come from the towers that we have.
No, do this slightly backwards. I'm going to do right to left rather than left to right.
Well, yeah, we're going to have the balloon generating the left to right, and we're going to have the other one be right to left, so they face each other.
They're clashing here in the middle, the battle area.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got balloons ramping up this side, and then our defense is ramping up this side. And I'm going to... I never like doing converters in this direction, but I'm going to do it. So if that was... I guess that's level. This is going to have to come... Actually, that's going to have to come from coins. So how are we going to track how many coins we're generating?
So, as I said, each balloon, I'm not sure. This is where we can start making up our own game, sort of.
So this is where I guess we could do that as a gate rather than a drain.
Oh, yeah, and turn them into coins. Yeah. That's efficient. Since you mentioned using a gate, I think we should use a converter, even if it's 1-to-1, because we might decide later that we want to convert.
Okay. So put converters here?
Yeah, I'm guessing we only turn them into money. There's nothing else we want to transform them into. So yeah, converters should be enough.
How about a gate then a converter?
Well,
I think it's a fun hack that I love to do. So yeah, what we can do is do a pull to a gate, and then have the gate go into a converter. In fact, we can keep that just in case we change something, and then have the converter Oh, we haven't got a.
We don't have coins, I think.
We don't have a coin pool.
Well, let's just make the tower DPS into coin and. Or that one.
Well, I beat you to it.
That's fine.
So if I just put 15 there for a moment, just to see if this is working as expected.
Yeah, I see the problem. It's because it's deactivated at the time of 50 doesn't overwrite. Then it should be something like, yeah, this is an easy fix.
Talk us through this, Cesar, because this sounds like a.
Yeah. So the problem here is when you start the execution, that's when the overwriting happens, right? That's when 50 is supposed to override the connection. But because it's disabled, because you don't have a timer, you didn't start the level, the overwriting doesn't happen. And when you enable it, the overwriting still doesn't happen. So the idea here, the easiest fix would be to keep the entire structure active at all times. Or rather try to keep it active. The easy fix I see is on the left where we have our Bloons source. This is where we condition it with greater than 0 from the timer. So that's what deactivates the whole system. We can use a different approach. Instead of making the source automatic, we can instead condition a gate and have that automatic gate be the one that triggers the source. So by doing that now, if Matthew hits play, you're going to see that the gate is the one disabled and the rest of the structure is functional. We have to think of something else for camo and lead because they are also conditioned by the level, right? But as you can see now for the normal balloons, it's overwritten, so we can see a 50 before the gate. So 50 balloons will be converted now. And that's the easy fix. Just use a gate.
Over. That's working. We're getting coins.
Yes.
Then we're going to fire this coins G into the converter. And we're going to convert those into something. Then I'm going to make a whole bunch more of these. How many different towers do we want?
Are we doing individual towers?
I don't know. What do you think?
I'm thinking of how I play the game now. That's what I'm thinking about. When I've been playing today, I don't think in a single game I've ever built more than 10 towers, right? Because you, rather than building new towers, you rather upgrade the ones that you already have, because usually the first towers that you place them in the best spots that you have on the map, right? So those towers, you'd rather make those towers strong that can hit in the most directions than place new ones. But that's just me. Now, obviously we're not doing a one-on-one deconstruction here. I think we can go with a limited number of towers and look at each individual tower. Yeah, I think it's fine.
I think while I'm actually kind of playing through the levels, even on hard level, I don't think I go much above 10 different towers. And then normally I would, you're right, I'll just be upgrading the existing towers.
Yeah.
I have in previous versions, you got to a point where you just couldn't fit any more towers on the screen.
Yeah.
You had every single inch covered. Now
Yeah,
some of
I
the
know what you
upgrade
mean.
costs of some of these items gets to be pretty crazy.
Yeah. From level 40 till level 50 something, I think I gathered money for a single upgrade. Yeah, the costs are pretty. It is a powerful upgrade, but the super monkey is just so damn expensive.
Yeah. Very true. Right. So how do we want to handle this inside Machinations?
But as I said, we're gonna have different towers, right?
Yeah.
How many? That's up to us. I would say that if we have 4 normal ones, 2 for camo and 2 for lead, should be enough, right? So 8 in total, I think, should be.
Good. I built 8, so that works really well.
Yeah.
Gonna make the camo ones green and the lead ones. Let's do like a bluey colour, bluey grey. So I'm gonna make the normal ones orange. No, red. So I'm hooking these all up to the coins. What do you think we should do with these?
What do you mean? I mean, the coins will be, yeah. Are you asking how we're gonna handle the upgrading logic?
Yeah.
I think this is something we should concern ourselves with later.
Okay.
The best reason for that is I have no idea.
Future Matthew and Cesar are going to have to worry about. Brilliant. That's fine. I'm sure they can handle it. They're clever guys. They'll be able to work it out.
Yeah. Future Cesar hates past Cesar most of the time. For reasons like this. I think we can, while we're not quick running, we can just do it manually, right? Like make them interactive and just show the ideas behind it.
Those are all nice and automatic. Then what next? How are we working out how the DPS into these? So I think
you know the answer.
It's going to be a register.
Yeah, but it's going to be one for each type. We don't need one for each tower. We need one for each type.
True. Some kind of nice exponential increase from the level up.
You say true, but then you place one for each tower. We just need one for each color, for each.
Oh.
Right, because they're gonna add up anyway. So yeah.
No, you gotta have 4 different exponential costs that rank up and do an exponential.
Yeah, but they will do.
Damage.
Oh, you mean that for the cost? I meant that. I thought that was the one that does the DPS, the math for the DPS.
Yeah, but we need a curve on both. So at level 1, it's going to do like 5.
Yeah.
So if that was, going to have to give the player some money to start off with.
Yeah, sure.
Let's call it 500 coins, something to start off with. The first level of that costs 350. The first level of that costs 150. So we go step. Yeah, so when we do step, we go, right, let's buy one of those, one of those. Got two different types of towers. We know that level 1 is going to be 10 a second.
Yeah.
So we need those two to add up to about 10.
Okay, let's call it 5. Let's see that level 1 is 5.
So then we're going to do A times 5. And that one will do A times 10.
Okay.
Are you thinking of just doing a +1 in as a node connection?
I was thinking of doing a single register, so I don't know at this point. Yeah, I think +1 should be fine. It should add both.
So then I'm going to make that. Show me the number. Start the level. Balloons are coming in. We're getting 10 balloons in, but we're killing 15. At the end of that first level, we've got 82 coins. Oh, I see, because how do we end up with 82?
Because we're generating camo and lead balloons.
Oh. Why are we doing that? Oh, it's because I was making changes, I think. There we go. So, the first level, get 100 balloons come in. We burst 100 balloons. We end up with 100 coins. And then we go on to the next level. But we're now generating 20 balloons, but we're only destroying 15 of them.
Yep. We should do something like because you see that when the timer stops, we still convert them. We should do something like when the timer stops, we drain the lives based on the normal balloons that were on the map, right?
Could do, yeah. Or we probably don't want to penalise a player quite that badly in the first one, so I'm going to make these slightly more, so at least the player can get to level 2. So player buys one of those to start off with. 25. They can get through the first 2 levels without having to do any other upgrades or anything else. Then they're going to have about 300 coins in the next level. So they could then go level 2. I love using interactive registers when I first kind of starting to work out what a model is or how a model is going to be working. Just by using the interactive objects. So we've got 200, so we can't afford one of those. Oh, it's because I didn't knock on the level.
Yeah, we should just you should just make it so when you add timer, when you add the 10 seconds, you also add 1 level from the same, like this.
I'm with you. Oh, you did it.
It's fine, delete it. Delete my work.
Did it my way, alright? Oh, but then it goes...
No, you start from level 0, it's fine. You start from level 0.
Oh, that's a good idea. You're a genius. So that's going to start. We can then...
Wait, because you didn't start anything. Okay, now you start.
First 100 balloons popped. It's got 300. So then the player could either upgrade one of these once they have enough, which means they can complete the level because they're then generating 40 DPS against the 30 DPS. Then into level 4, which they can just about cover.
Yeah.
At the end of level 4, they're going to have a whole bunch. 650. So we can be super cheeky and make this next one cost 650. And have it generate. How much damage do you think, Jezza?
25? 20?
25. So then how do we want to make it this do you want to increase the cost for each level, or are we just having that kind of dropping a level in and it'd be a fixed cost? And then I guess we then need to think about, let's make this one 1100 cost, and it generates 50. The next thing I'm thinking about is how are we going to have automate this to make this so that a player is going through picking what they're going to purchase. Because if we just make these automatic and put all, don't forget to put all, I'm just going to highlight all of them. If we do it like that, the problem that you get is, and I'm sure everybody's come across this at some point in Machinations, is that actually what happens is, as we're just going to drain down the coins using the cheapest converter, which we've got here is 150.
Yeah.
So if I were to make this make that automatic and a condition of equals 0, don't need this stuff anymore. We've got that. This just means it's going to count down the 10 levels. Once it gets to the end of the 10 levels, 10 seconds, we're going to have one step of gap and then we're into the next one. So if we keep track of our coins pot, just make it a pretty colour. There we go. Oh, that's right. So the player starts off with 500 coins.
Yeah.
They spend their coins. They're popping some balloons. nicely. In fact, let's clear that down. Do some quick plays of it, just for 100 steps.
They should be pretty linear because the way we generate balloons in the first level is linear, and yeah, the way that they buy towers is linear. So
Perfect. And actually, it looks a bit like the model we started off on our simplified loop.
yeah, kind of.
Have you had any thoughts on how we should automate this purchase process?
I do, but I don't think it's. I think it can be done. I don't think it's easy. I don't have an idea right now. I just know how it can be done. It should be by making priorities. If you have a level 3 tower 1, maybe it's time to buy a level 2 tower 2 or stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
That type of logic.
Just going to swap those two around so it's kind of in size order, smallest to largest tower. Big tower does the most damage. Then I guess it's a compare register.
Well, what do you want to do?
A and B into there. So that's B. That's A. And here I want
I'm asking again, what do you want to do?
I don't know, I'm working it out.
No, but what's
something that says that you only you'll only buy this one if it's the same level as this one.
Oh,
So
okay.
that basically we do with our 4 towers go 1, 2, 3, 4, and once the player's done 1, they're not going to buy another 1 until they bought 2, and they're not going to buy another 2 until they bought 3, and they're not going to buy 3 until they bought 4.
I see what you mean.
So
I have an idea, but it's complicated. Like if you want to do something else.
I know you love a compare, don't you?
Yeah, you can compare. But
I do that for all of them.
yeah, I think it should work. Hit a play with this, see what happens. I'm curious.
That one's then not available because this one hasn't been upgraded. But that one has been upgraded. Now it's not available. So I guess you'll end up with 3, 2, 1, and then it'll force you to purchase that one. Which is kind of fine, I think.
Yeah. Even
That'll do. At some point the player's going to buy the most expensive one. So that will work nicely. So I'll go through and hook up the rest of these. Oh, you're doing it. Do you want to? Okay, well, you finish off the rest of those.
Sure.
And I'll work out what we're going to do next with camo towers. We are going to need a separate register for each of these. These are going to feed into our camo tower DPS. And our lead tower DPS. I'm going to do the lead registers and the camo registers while you're doing that.
I'll do the camo. The lead, sorry. You do the
Okay.
camo. Also make them automatic, right? And pull all.
Yes.
And maybe give them cost.
Um, 700 and 1,200. And then 800.
I don't know if the first one should be that expensive. We can figure it out when we run, but
Yeah. 1,300. Fire these into the registers. Um, 700, we got 25. I'll make it times 25. I'm just making up numbers. See, we'll have a look and see what happens with it when it comes out. So that'll be 50. And we'll do 25 times 50. So go through level 1, level 2, player's still doing really well. Whoa. Just got through that level. This is the one that's going to be challenging. We've got 85 DPS, we've got 60, now 70. We've opened up a camo tower and a lead tower defense. We have a +1 that goes from these into the normal tower defense.
yes.
Or is that going to double up the damage?
No. It's
from
gonna add the. It's
Camo
gonna add.
Tower and the Lead Tower.
I see what you mean because they pop both of them.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? It actually doesn't matter. We do that as a +1. It means that every Camo Tower DPS that we're generating from our registers is also going to add to our normal tower DPS. Then what we could do is we could then just half the amount here. So I'm going to make it 15 or something and pull that on 25. So it really just means its DPS is split between Camo Towers and lead and normal. But
Fair
that
enough.
means it doesn't necessarily matter. Alright, so level 1. It's almost the whole game now, Chessa.
We still need to do the life draining.
Oh yes, that's true. Let's have a see what's going on. Money's ramping up. Money's dropped. Money's ramping up. Money's dropped.
That's kind of the story of the. But you can see, I can see the previous execution. It's gonna be similar to that one. That's because the way we built it, where we introduced randomness. So first of all, a tower defense usually isn't randomized in any way, right? Like there's no randomization in the enemies that spawn. We do have some randomization in here from level 10 forward because we're generating camo and lead based on chances. But if you want an accurate representation, probably want to do it in a deterministic manner. So that's why the first levels are always similar, because with the costs that we have and the amount of balloons that we generate per step, the results are always going to be the same.
That's true. Also, the way in which we're ramping this up at the moment is we've got a linear growth in terms of DPS. So let's add DPS into our chart. Make that purple, and let's add this one into the chart. Make it yellow. That way we can keep track of balloons per second, normal. Oh, let's call that DPS normal. DPS normal and balloons per level and our coins. Let's clear this down. Let's do 1,000 steps. Quick play. Boom. Those of you this works is we're now bundling up all of the information from our model. We're sending this off to AWS Lambda and parallelizing all of these simulations. Now, I don't think we've got any randomness in here. That means I think all of these will be the same.
Not really. The DPS will not be will be the same. The DPS, because the rule to buy towers is the same. But from level 10 forward, we're introducing randomness in the way we generate balloons. So
I think that's going to be the same. Oh, different types of balloons. Yes. You're right. And actually, we're not giving any money out for any of these yet.
Exactly.
Oh.
That's an easy fix, right? Just give coins for each of them. Just add the same idea with the gate and.
That's true. Let's do that. There's me all chuffed that we've got 20 minutes to go, and I was doing quick runs and then realised
we still have lives. There's still work to do. It's never a bad sign if we are 20 minutes from the end and already thinking about quick run.
Quick runs and balancing.
Yeah.
That's going to make a big difference to this, I think. So,
yeah, should also influence the no, the DPS should not be influenced because the balloons have the same value. I would move the DPS to the other scale.
Top tip. So for those of you that you end up with this moment in a lot of charts where you have a tiny little amount in from one pool or register or something that you're tracking, and then you've got one that's going up to 14,000 and this one's only small. If you just click on that and say use right scale, there we go. So now it's moved the purple DPS onto the right hand side, so we can have a much better view of what's going on with our coins and our balloons per second here accordingly.
Yeah.
And actually coins, no, that's what we do worry about it. But our DPS is massively overpowered. But I'm going to move it back to the left scale to show how overpowered it is, because the balloons we're getting should be challenging the player, and the player's able to just completely dominate this.
Yes.
Let's check which level we're getting to. Add that one in chart. Let's do another quick run. Do that down, get a fresh view of it. Oh, we need to build the lives remaining. Have a look. So we are getting to a decent level. Level 91. But whereas we're getting 850 up to, I guess 910 balloons per second, our DPS got up to 14,000.
Yeah, so there's something seriously wrong with
I don't think it's seriously wrong, but we need to do something to increase this. In fact, let's do the first one, which I think will make a big difference, which will be to let's ramp up the cost. So for each one you purchase, let's increase the cost by 150. Increase that one by 350. Increase that one by 650. So just by state connection from the output pool into the input resource connection, for every level that this goes up, we're going to increase the cost of each of these different types of towers. So rather than it just being super cheap to keep buying them, it starts to get really expensive.
I want to mention one thing. Even though the DPS gets out of hand in the later levels, the player, even with the numbers that we had until now, was kind of struggling in the early game actually. So they were below the curve in the first levels, not the first 5 levels, but like the first few levels, they were below the curve, and then they started getting massively ahead of the curve. So we also need to have a look at that. After you change the numbers and we do a few runs, we're gonna have to look at the first, 30 levels.
this section here. Yeah, so we've got a moment, kind of level 4.
Okay,
Balloons
that's
per
the only one.
second.
Yeah.
Balloons per second is 40, but the DPS is 35.
After that, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's clear this. Let's do 2 quick runs.
It should look a bit different now.
MJ Reverse, you want to play Bloons with me? Yeah, always. I'll play Bloons with you. There we go. That's a bit better.
Quite the difference.
Yeah, and the cost, the amount of coins that a player needs. Let's put that one on the right-hand scale. That's much better. Let's have a look at what's going on in our early game. So yeah, you can see there's a few places where it's really close.
Yes.
So one of the ideas I had, Cesar, is tower placement.
Okay.
It's super important in a game like Bloons.
I agree. In every tower defense game, it's so important. Yeah.
And I was thinking about, like, how can you capture that sort of information in a Machinations model when there are so many different ways that a tower could be placed. And when it struck me, I came up with a genius idea.
I always like those.
You'll love this. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to. I feel like I've hyped this up too much already.
I promise I won't show it. My face won't show if I don't like it.
Rather than just kind of doing this as a, the way we've got it at the moment is every tower that's placed is basically placed to perfection, and it's completely able to utilize 100% of its DPS. Whereas actually, when you play something in the game, if you place it somewhere, it might only be able to shoot the balloons coming in every so often. So I was thinking about a random int, maybe 75 to 100. And it would help if I put a capital I on that, and if I zoomed in so people could actually see it. Then maybe take that whole thing, lowercase r. I'm a great example of how to use Machinations, so I'm just great. And then divide that whole thing by 100. When I hit play, it's going to generate a random number for me. Then take this and multiply that by b, and I've then created a random skill level almost of how that's handling it. What do you think?
I think it's a very simple way of doing it.
Do you like that?
At 10 minutes before the end of the stream, I love it, actually.
You're not just saying that.
I'm not actually. It's a simple way to handle it. It's not 100% accurate, but nothing we did here is 100% accurate. So yes, it's a simple way to. It kind of limits the field of view that the tower has.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks. Do you want to help me go through and add all of these in? You start at the bottom, I start at the top. Now what we could do is we could then, I guess, build on this even further and say, the more times a player plays a particular level, the more likely they are to have a a better random number. Well, you know, they've learnt the placement of these towers a bit better so that they can do an even better job or something.
Yeah. But there's only so much space that you have to place perfect towers, right?
That's true.
I was playing a map where there was just this giant tree stump in the middle of it, and no matter where I placed towers, I couldn't get 100% vision. So
That's true. So actually, that becomes a really good way of kind of controlling that. And actually, if I'd been clever, I would have sent 75 and 100 that I added there as letter A and B, and then created some pools to control all of those at the same time.
yeah, but I think it's a great approach anyway.
So great placement down there. Really bad placement of some of these early towers. That might affect things. We've lost almost a quarter of that tower's potential. But let's stop, reset, clear, and let's do 5 quick runs. I'm just going to do them to 500 steps. Quick play, go. Nice. So that's kind of brought these together a bit. Early game is tricky.
Yeah.
But not quite. There's a couple of moments, but actually I can't see them losing any lives yet. I think what we need to do is we need to start looking at ramping up from about level 10. We need to do an increase from level 10, I think.
Yeah, that's where it gets a bit crazy, because we introduced the new towers, the camel towers, and they kind of...
There's a few things that we could do. We could either nerf some of the towers, or we could increase the number of balloons.
Well, the one thing I like about balloons is that there's a lot of balloons to pop, so I think we should add more balloons.
Yeah. Don't forget though, more balloons equals more money.
Yeah, that is true, but yeah, you have a point.
That's fine. How do we want to cover that?
You want to do it after level 10, right?
What me to do? I'll sort this out. I've got this. Plus,
Yeah.
I'm going to do larger.
Yep.
Oh. A, remove that. A, then 9. And I'm gonna,
So this basically means from level 10 onwards.
yeah. Need another set of brackets. Open, 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 close, close, and then times that by 10. So it effectively doubles the number of. So
Yeah.
once we go over level 9, that will then return a 1. We're going to multiply
think
that 1 by
from
10.
20 you
then
can
add
add
it up to
another 10.
Say again?
I think that from 20 you can add another 10 for when the LED towers are introduced.
Oh, nice. Okay. So we're going to repeat that process.
Yeah.
I'll copy that plus that. Make that 19. So balloons per second. We should have made that yellow. Balloons per second 10. Once you're over level 10, it's going to be larger than 9, therefore it's adding another 10. And then once you hit level 20, it's going to be larger than 19, so it's going to add another 10.
Yep.
Perfect. So let's see what this does. Let's do some quick plays.
It should even them out.
Does it? Because the player's earning more
Yeah, they're earning more money.
So we've got a couple of places where it's close here, but then actually...
Yeah. Yeah. We need to nerf the towers.
We need to...
Boy.
So, you say nerf the towers, we can either increase the cost, we can decrease
yeah, that's
the
still a nerf,
power,
yeah.
loads of things we could do. What do you fancy?
Decrease their power, I think.
Yeah. I think some of these bigger towers need to go down a bit. So we just nerfed our top 3 towers. Do some quick runs. I love the fact that we're able to test this across, I mean, 50 levels to see whether or not we've got the balance right in seconds.
It's still a bit out of place. I mean, the beginning is still pretty even.
I like this. This is good. And then we've got up to about level 11.
Yeah, the new towers. Yeah.
The game is starting to get really easy.
I'm gonna do some more nerfs on the towers. I'm gonna make this one 20, gonna make 30 here. 10. That's fine. And 10. Let's see again. Let's do another batch. So at least the balancing part is super easy every time because we just switch a couple of numbers and then we quick play again. So
yeah, that's looking good. Still, this
it's looking a bit more even, yeah, but it's still getting out of hand at some point.
You know, I think I'm gonna increase formula here. So actually, that adds in 20. And then that adds in 30.
Yeah, it might be the older issue where they get more money. So
They get more money, or should we change how much money they get?
well, they are kind of at the bare minimum, right? They get 1 coin per balloon. Anything less than that would kind of be weird, I think. We can make the towers more expensive. Make the upgrades more expensive, maybe not the towers themselves.
Oh, you know what I've done though? I've just realized this. My formula is not working because I'm adding in, although I'm adding in that in, it's not increasing that with each level.
Why is it not?
So once you get to level 10,
I see
it's
what you
adding
mean.
20.
Yeah,
Once you get
it's
to
a
level
one-time
20,
increase.
it's adding 30, but it's not exponential enough.
I see. Yeah,
It's just
a
stepping it
one-time.
up, but it's not
Yeah.
making it aggressive growth enough. So I'm going to do that 30 times A.
Yeah, exactly.
And 20 times A. I think that's now going to be too aggressive.
It is because it's gonna add 200 of them at level.
Yeah, that's going to make it super hard.
We're gonna see the balloons per second just spike up like crazy. Cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can do instead of multiplying by a, you multiply by a minus 10, and the second time you multiply by a minus 20, right? And it should be fine. Where you multiply times 20 times a, you multiply by times 20 times a minus 10. Okay, and yeah.
Like it. And then
that should fix it.
A minus 20.
Yeah. The level that you're at when you unlock it.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, so you basically start from 1. You start the increase from 1. That should make a lighter curve.
Yeah, that's a very different curve now from that nastiness. Looks much nicer, but now the player's in real trouble.
Yeah, well, from a logical standpoint, there should be one point where you start losing, right? So at some point you should be overwhelmed.
So I think, how do we want to balance that? Oh, we're at time.
Yes, we are.
So this is loads of fun. Maybe we should leave this unbalanced for everybody to go and have a play with and work out how you want to balance this yourselves rather than us working this out any further. So down in the description, you'll see the link to this model. Go and have a look at it. Go and have a play. Work out what you'd want to do with your own tower defense game so that you can balance this accordingly. Have lots of fun. We'll be back next week. If you've got any requests or any ideas of what you'd like to see us balance, please do give us a shout in the comments or come and join us in the Discord channel or Slack. Let us know what you'd like to see us build. This has been loads of fun. Well done, Chazza. This is a nice, fun model.
Yeah, nice fun game as well. I
Yeah.
recommend you play Bloons if you haven't.
I'm a big fan of Bloons. Definitely go out and download it. It's worth the $5, whatever it is, to buy it and enjoy the game. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you all next week.